Derided by mainstream media economists as a disaster for any large advanced economy or representing macroeconomic illiteracy, it seems Donald Trump remains fond of a gold standard. Today we explore whether his re-election could lead to a gold standard and in what format that could actually take, and could Trump actually wish to use gold to defeat the Fed. So let's dive on in. Now, this channel provides global macro insights and champions the importance of sound money in a world gone crazy, so do consider subscribing.
The Federal Reserve was created by Congress as the nation's central bank to promote a stable economy and a safer, more flexible financial system.
While the Fed's supposed modus operandi sounds great in nature, we can see just how badly the Federal Reserve have failed in their primary role of financial stability by looking at the vast booms and busts following the inception of the Fed in 1913. Certainly they have presided over ever greater crashes in the Dow-gold ratio. And yet progress does appear to be being made towards sound money. Consider, for instance, the number of states in the US where precious metals can legally be used as currency. Moreover, the popularity of Ron Paul's presidential campaign successes in 2008 and 2012 also shows the popularity of sound money. Indeed, this groundswell of support for a form of money which offers a real store of value continues to gain momentum. For instance, in 2018, Republican Representative Alexander Mooney, who proposed a full return to the gold standard. While proposals have so far died in the Senate, Trump's Federal Reserve nominee, Judy Shelton, has really got the right people upset here.
What exactly are your views on monetary policy and the gold standard?
I would not advocate going back to a prior historical monetary arrangement. I think it's really important to acknowledge that the power to regulate the value of U.S. money is given to Congress by our Constitution. And Congress has created the Federal Reserve as an independent agency and given it its monetary mandate. That is the framework under which I will make decisions if confirmed as a member of the Board of Governors.
I find Shelton's use of words here fascinating. As she states, I would not advocate going back to a prior historical monetary arrangement. And right she is to say so, but certainly she has advocated moving forward to a new system, as we'll see shortly. Well, the 40 former Federal Reserve officials blasted her nomination, calling her views extreme and ill-considered, while urging the Senate to reject her nomination. In a letter, the Federal Reserve's alumni said the nominee, Judy Shelton, has a decades-long record of writings and statements that call into question her fitness for a spot on the Fed's board, given that she has questioned the need for the central bank to even exist. Shelton wrote in an article for the Cato Institute, "We make America great again by making America's money great again." Now, some of the other reasons Trump may favour a gold standard also include that first, it would lead to fixed exchange rates. The Trump administration has long cited currency manipulation as a threat. Yet his clear desire to actually reshore US manufacturing would also appear to be consistent with a world of fixed exchange rates. Theoretically, this could enhance the competitiveness of US manufacturers and thereby reduce the US trade deficits. In addition, a gold revaluation would also help to reduce the real size of debts and ignite inflation, as we've considered in detail in this video. Yet such an approach is likely to require international coordination. Otherwise, you would have large creditor nations like China and Japan asking for their dollar assets to be converted to gold. But there is a bigger issue here, of course, with the seizure of China's US treasuries. And so Shelton writes that today there are compelling reasons, political, economic and strategic, for President Trump to initiate the establishment of a new international monetary system. And Trump goes on to say that bringing back the gold standard would be very hard to do, but boy would it be wonderful. We'd have a standard on which to base our money. And so Shelton has also said she is open to an approach where the Fed would target a dollar price of gold. by linking the supply of money and credit to gold. This is something that Jim Rickards has also commented on, where a price of gold can be set and currency exchanged at that given price, which could allow currency convertibility by individuals as under a gold standard, or by foreign central banks as under Bretton Woods. This would have to involve a non-deflationary revaluation of gold, where people would happily be willing to exchange gold for currency. But the Trump administration has long emphasized the primacy of national sovereignty, and so whether he will be willing to actually forge an international agreement is up for debate. Indeed, Shelton writes that timing is important to ensure that a future monetary system is not governed by a global body. Such a development would be distinctly at odds with the Trump administration's objectives. The IMF long ago abandoned its responsibility for maintaining a stable international exchange rate system anchored by a gold convertible dollar. But in the absence of a global conference, something that would be anathema to Trump, the way to get there is the same as under the 19th century gold standard. Then the leading power, Great Britain, unilaterally fixed the domestic currency price of gold. Other countries, seeing the advantages accruing to Britain, followed its example. Once multiple countries had decided to actually peg the domestic price of gold, the exchange rates between their currencies were effectively fixed. Today, the idea evidently is that if the US moves first, preemptively, as Shelton puts it, other countries will follow. Yet there are clear problems, given that fiscal stimulus would be limited and the devaluation of the dollar and currencies globally would cause inflation, and this would damage consumption for a economy that does rely heavily on consumption. But Shelton has a futuristic vision of any potential gold arrangement, which could involve a digital currency component. And San Francisco-based crypto firm Ripple has had meetings with senior Trump officials last year, where Ripple's chief market strategist, Corey Johnson, who stated that he has been amazed at the open-mindedness and intelligence of the questions asked by the officials. This signals that the government has been intensely scrutinizing cryptocurrency, specifically Ripple. The Trump administration knows that around 80% of Bitcoin's mining hash power comes from China. They also know that most of the Ethereum mining takes place in China. However, in the case of XRP, they appear to know that things are very different, considering the fact that no mining is required. As Corey Johnson states, so from a foreign control aspect or from an environmental aspect, XRP Ripple is a very different beast. And in conversations we've had with the administration, they seem to get that and think that might matter. In addition, Shelton appears to look favourably upon the Ripple XRP payment system. And so what of the Fed? Will Trump seek to further reveal the failures of the Fed, force it to use mark-to-market accounting to reveal the true scale of its incompetence? Can gold once again be used to wrestle power back from the central banks and empower the people? Well, posts from 2018 appear intriguing. We shall have to wait and see, of course. There remains a long way to go before any of this is resolved. But it's important to remember that if successful, Shelton will be just one voice among Fed officials who are responsible for setting monetary policy. Yet could the tide finally be turning upon the Fed's inequality-inducing policies? Of course, we're going to have to wait and see. Here's our summary for today. I hope you found this video interesting. Do click the like buttons, consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.